right?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode. Today is a very special episode.
Mhm.
Not only do I have all three of the co-hosts, all three of us are together actually, but we reached a certain milestone, and we would talk in post production about doing an origin story of how we all met, and you guys helped us reach that milestone. So I think it's about time now that we tell you how all three of us met and started doing this. So, do you boys want to start from way back? Start with me and Anthony.
I guess you could start with Anthony and you, and then we can kind of figure out how I came into the picture. You know, I think that'd be good because I don't think I've ever heard the story how you two met. I know you guys live in the same town and went to school, but I don't know how you met.
Honestly, I don't remember
Okay,
either.
so
Oh, I was asking.
I
I was
remember.
asking you yesterday. Do you remember how we
Yeah.
met? And I was like, I really don't remember. So you're gonna tell us part. I remember how you got us into Friday, which is part of the story.
Okay, so let's go back in time to 2012, 2013,
The Wayback Machine.
the way back. And we were middle school, sixth grade, and me and Anthony had first period together. We had gym class together, first period, first thing in the morning. And
I do remember
we
that.
were in the
Yeah.
same row. We were in the same row.
Wow.
And then we didn't have our second period together, but we did have our third and fourth period
Mhm.
together. So we knew each other from gym class, and then we after gym class we talked third, fourth period. We had the same English teacher. Or it was like what was it? What do they call it? Not literature, but
Elar.
anyway, but not
It was
Elar.
Elar. I think it was Elar. Miss Whetstone,
Okay,
right?
but yeah, Miss Whetstone.
English is a second language.
Shout out Whetstone.
No,
ESL.
no, that's ESL. It's ELAR. It's English language art language, or I don't
I
know.
never heard of that
Yeah,
expression.
but that's what they call it down here. So, and then we'd always have the same teacher. Like, even if we weren't in the same period, we'd always have like the same teacher. Like, we'd always have the same math teacher, same English, whatever history teacher. I remember we had Mr. Voorhees,
Oh yeah.
and shout out to Voorhees.
Mr. Voorhees, like
Yeah.
Jason Voorhees?
Yeah,
Jason Voorhees,
and the strange thing about him is he wore Spurs. Our history teacher wore Spurs.
Shut up.
He did.
He wore Spurs to school?
Yeah. So every time he would walk around the class, you hear ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a cowboy.
Did he wear cowboy
Oh
boots
yeah,
too?
cowboy boots
Yeah.
with the big
Yeah.
beard,
Cowboy boots.
long beard.
Yeah, he had a big beard, and he wore like a regular, like short sleeve, kind of not dress shirt, but it was like a flannel dressy shirt, and he always had a pencil in his
Did he have like
pocket.
little snap buttons? Did he have the snap buttons like the Western jersey?
Honestly, I don't
shirts?
remember.
No.
You know what I mean?
I remember he always had a pencil in his pocket because I always ask him, I'm like, can you take a look at this? And he would take it out.
And he
But
like that.
then, okay, so basically, me and Anthony met middle school, 2012, 2013. So now let's flash forward to high school.
No, I got to hear more about these this middle school. It's about this guy. So he had a big beard. Did he wear a cowboy hat too?
No,
Yeah, he did.
no cowboy.
No.
Yeah, but not in school.
No, after,
he
yeah,
wore it
no.
in his off
Yeah.
time. Yeah, and
Did he have like a big belt buckle?
I'm sure he did.
I
Looking
think so,
back at
didn't
it now, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure he was a cowboy.
yeah, he was basically a cowboy.
Well, he wanted to be a cowboy, but he's a school teacher.
School teacher, and he drives
Yeah.
a
I'm
car.
sure he wasn't out. I'm sure he
remember-
wasn't out poking cows,
I
being a cowpoke or
remember-
anything.
This is how old it was. The Boston bombing happened.
Oh yeah, I remember watching that
and like
live.
in his class. Yeah, he had it. He had
Oh,
it
the
planned.
marathon bombing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
You know that anniversary was just a couple days ago. We had the Boston Marathon.
that's crazy.
I guess about a week ago. But yeah, it was Monday 2 weeks ago. It was
but-
basically
Yeah, I remember
Columbus Day.
spending like literally going to class, and then like we didn't do anything the whole day. We were just watching CNN live stream of them looking for the dude.
Yeah. I remember that. Weird memory. To bring
That
up,
was,
but yeah.
it was a weird. Have you ever seen the movie that Mark Wahlberg did?
No.
It's called
Oh
Patriots
yeah, I
Day.
see that.
And there's this one scene, like when they find the kid in the boat, when they find, well, I forget, I don't even want to say his name, but the dude in the boat, and he's hiding in the boat. And so the FBI comes in, and there's this lady up there. There's a lady cop up there, and they're like, "Okay, we got this, ma'am." And this lady cop turns around with her Boston accent, and she goes, "Who the fuck are you?" and the cop FBI goes, "We're the FBI, man. We got this." And she goes, what did she say? She basically rattles off a name, and she goes, "I'm from Revere, and I ain't going anywhere." And FBI goes, "Well, good to have you then." And I was like, dude, that is, if you could take a picture of everybody in Boston, that's Boston. It's literally, if you ever want to know how Boston is, how that lady talked to you and how that lady was, that's Boston. So every time I think of the bombing, that's what I think of.
Yeah, that's how. Yeah, that's how old it was. And
Off topic,
so
sorry.
now let's flash forward to high school again. Like, again, I think, didn't we all have each other one time in high school, and that was in junior year?
For the history class, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go back real quick. Shout out me and Anthony. We also had each other. What was it, seventh grade? Was it seventh grade or eighth grade? Freshman's class, the science class.
It was 7th. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, that was seventh grade. He was one of the chillest
He
teachers.
was.
Shout out him. Okay,
He
so
was.
yeah, so the 3 years I was at our high school, I only had Anthony one time in class, but we usually hung out then. And then I don't remember, we started talking again, but we met up again because we were doing this thing called lost credit. Because lost credit is, yeah, we lost credit because we missed an excessive amount of days of school, and we had to make up hours.
Missed, like, honestly, I think I had like,
Do you remember how many hours?
yeah, I think I had, dude, I only had to do like 26 hours around there. Like 26 hours that I missed like 3 extra days that I wasn't supposed to. I know, some bullshit like that, dude.
Dude, all I remember was when I first met Brunner. That dude didn't go to school, man.
Yeah,
like he
I
never
remember those
was in
times where you guys
school.
were playing
Like,
during school days.
It was like, dude, it's like that guy was like perennial. I'm like, dude, I don't know how the truant officer doesn't come knocking on your door. Goddamn.
Do you know how many hours? Do you remember, Anthony?
For me, I had 26.
I
don't know about you.
I had, and I did it too because you weren't there. You finished earlier before me, but I sent you. I think I said, because we were in the group chat at the time, but I know I sent it to you of me completing it. I had 90 hours I had to do.
Damn, dude, 90 hours.
And that's
Does
not
that
even,
mean you missed 90
No,
days of
no,
school?
no, it's like,
no. I don't think it was 90 days. There's a calculation of it, but I remember this was the day
Good
after
God.
you left, Anthony. This girl came in because, oh my God, remember the Lost of Credit place was run by like an older lady, and then like I think it was a coach.
yeah, Mr. Garcia. Oh, fuck
Yeah,
him,
but
dude. I don't care.
But the older lady, I don't know, like she must have, there must have been something wrong with her. But I remember because we were in the library doing this, and what we do is we would write essays. Is they would give us a topic and we just write essays, literally
For
8
90
2
hours?
weeks.
Yeah.
We're about 2
Yeah.
weeks there.
Just 2 weeks
Yeah.
writing essays. And then I remember, do you remember one time when she started calling people? She started
Yes.
calling
Oh my God. She was.
She called my mom while I was there, saying your son needs to come and do loss of credit when I'm 5 feet away from her.
She did say that.
I'm like,
Did you went up to her and tell her like, "Hey, we're right here"?
no, I didn't. And then my mom, she texted me like right after. She's like, "How come I got a voicemail? Are you not going?" And I'm like, "I am going." I'm already 50 hours in. I don't know why she's telling me this. She knows my first name already.
It
I'm already
was
50
bad.
hours in. That's like a
It
jail
was.
sentence,
It
dude.
did feel like a jail sentence. I hated it every
But-
time.
It's like community service. It's
But-
like you got to do your time,
But
bro.
the most I've ever heard was this was a day after Anthony came in. Oh, remember? Hold on, I'll get back to it. But this girl came in because she's like, "Hey, I got a call saying I need to make up hours, right?"
Yeah.
And then she said like, the older woman told her, she's like, "Yeah, you owe 200 hours."
I remember that.
And then she's like, even if you start from now till like, because it was like 2 weeks left.
You won't make it.
And
Yeah,
she said, even
right.
if you start from now, yeah, you won't make it.
I do remember that.
And then she didn't even stay. She just left. She just straight
Yeah,
up
she
left.
did. I would too. There's no point.
Do you remember, Anthony? Do you remember that girl who left early? Remember?
Which one? There's like
then,
500.
and then her mom
So
came
here's-
in.
Oh yeah.
So like I had friends of mine and stuff that failed classes, right? Like they failed a class or whatever. And so basically what they would do is they would do a correspondence course through the summer. Could you guys just do that and be like, screw you, and just do
We
a
actually
correspondence course?
We could do tutoring,
Really?
and that would count as a credit.
They were super easy. Those courses, they were like, my friend JJ had to do it, and I literally just sat and took his test for him. It was on history, and he failed history, U.S. history. And so basically, they gave me this little like paper book, and I like, we did them all like in one day, and basically sent them in like over like 6 weeks.
Well, I think it was easier back then for sure.
Yeah, hold on. Me and Anthony, we have a story. There one time there's
That's
this girl
funny.
who started with me and Anthony when we were doing it. And then one time, like, you know, like we didn't talk to her because like that's the environment. We were just chill. It's like everybody just shows up and then goes home. But like we kind of knew her. And I knew her too because one time, like I had been there long enough where they're like, hey, they need help in the attendance office. They need help filing. You and her go help file. And I did it. And it was fun. I'm like, cool. I'm like,
Yeah, I'd rather
anything
do
else?
that. Yeah.
And then so one day, like she just comes up, she's like, oh, I'm not feeling well. She's like, can I leave? Right. Like, yeah. So they're like, okay, they clocked her out basically. Right. So me and Anthony are there. Were you there? Anthony?
I don't remember. Did her mom? Was it her mom that came in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
her mom
Right.
came in.
Okay. Yeah. That was there.
Yeah. So we're writing, right? And then so this older lady comes in and she's like, I'm looking for, you know, what's her name, right? And me and Anthony are like looking at each other like, what the hell's going on? And then she's like, she's not answering her phone.
Oh yeah.
You know, she's not answering her calls. And then like we're like, what the hell's going on?
She dipped.
She gone. She really
Because
did.
I don't think she ever came
Nah,
back,
she
right?
didn't. That day, no.
And she still owed like 10 hours, which is like a day.
I
and
was
2
about to
hours.
say a day, 2 hours.
Because one full day is 8 hours.
Yeah.
You had to sit there
Yep.
for 8 hours.
Yeah.
What the flip?
Yep. And he has to write essays every hour. And if he didn't write the
Oh,
essay,
and then remember the
it wouldn't count.
yeah.
It's an hour.
Yeah.
That's some
Yep.
dumb shit right there.
And then, remember, there's always the school administrator, and he would come in, and his ringtone, like his text tone, was the sound of a lightsaber going on. Do you remember that?
Every time. Dude. He had that belt
always-
clip. He had it like 100%. He would always
Yeah,
take
yeah,
it out.
exactly.
And his office was like
we'd always
Big
his
open.
office was in the library, like in the back. Like he had to walk all the way in the back, and there was his office. So
Because me and Anthony, we sat all the way.
in the back. Oh
We
yeah,
sat
the
towards
two
the back.
tables in the back. We couldn't sit in the
Yeah,
same
'cause
table.
That's so
tables.
weird, man. That's weird, man. That's the
We
whole.
couldn't
That's
sit
weird,
in the same
dude.
table,
Let me-
but we sat like two tables next to each other. We just wrote lyrics of
Yeah.
songs and movies, in the essays.
I
Yeah, but
wrote
it's still
a lot
weird,
of movies
man.
because they went because as
It-
long as like it was eligible and like long enough, you passed.
Brunner
like,
wrote
you
Dear
earned your
Stan
credit.
in one of them.
So basically, what you're saying to me is it was kind of like a Saturday detention.
We-
Yeah,
Weekdays,
yeah.
too,
It was
yeah.
basically the Breakfast Club for 8 hours for like 2 weeks, for 2-3 weeks.
Oh, that's a.
It was.
It was.
Yeah.
And it's, you want to hear some bullshit, Elite? So I did it. I completed my 90 hours, right? And
Dude,
then
didn't they forget you? Did they? I remember this. I think I know what you're gonna
and
say. I think.
Anthony didn't. I think something happened like this to you too.
Yeah, they did.
They
but I had
lost
a
my
copy, yeah.
paperwork.
Yeah, I remember that.
They lost.
I remember that because when you started at the new school, they didn't give you enough credits.
That.
But didn't they
You had
lose
to
your
fight for your
paperwork one
credits.
time, Anthony?
Yeah, they did, but I always have. I'm pretty sure, honestly, I still have the
Yeah,
copies.
yeah. We always have.
Yeah,
copies.
I
we have
still
copies,
do have the copy.
But did they lose
for
it?
sure.
So they lost Anthony's paperwork,
Jesus.
but they lost my paperwork a total of 4 times.
4 times.
I literally have copies of copies.
That's
They
because
lost
you
the
never went to
original.
school.
They lost the
you're
original.
right, though.
You,
That's why I left.
You, dude. I just remember when I first met you. You're like, yeah, I'm starting a new school. I'm like, cool. Figured, okay, he's going to go to a different school across town, and you were descriptive about each school, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to get into descriptions, but you were like kind of like this school, that school, and then I'm like, oh, so how to go to your new school? Yeah, I didn't go. I'm going to go to a new school.
I remember that.
And it was like,
I'm so glad I went to that new school, by the way. But
it was funny, man. It's like
but
you went to like you went to like one school for like 10 days and then quit and went back to a different
I
school.
remember that.
no, I went to school for like a day or two.
Really?
And then I went to that was
Really? Oh yeah,
yeah.
I do remember that.
And
I
then-
do remember that. Yeah.
Dude, he hated it. He came home. He's like, dude, I hate it. No one's there. I don't know anybody. It sucks.
Amen, dude.
And then there were scrubs over there. And then they're like, oh, you have to constantly wear your ID.
How's lunch over there?
Fine, normal, just fucking chill in my car. But let me continue with them losing my paperwork 4 times. So first time, it was about 2 weeks after I finished it, and this was during student freshman orientation. They're like, your son, never did his lost credit, and I said, and so we came in and we said, look, here's the copy. You guys lost. You have the original. You guys lost it apparently. We're like, okay, can we make another copy of it? So boom, there we go. So that's okay. And then the next time, junior year, I get my schedule right, and it says grade 10 on it. I said, so I had to go again, give them my paperwork, and then so literally about close to, I would say, I think there was close to December break. I was in the library. I was in the library again, back where we had started. So I'm perusing the books, and then the older lady who ran it came up to me, and then she's like, "Hey," she's like, "Good to see you," and she said like, "Oh, we can't find your paperwork." She's like, "And I know you completed it because I'm the one who handed it to you, but we can't find your paperwork again." And then someone,
Dude,
they were that
like
dysfunctional in that office in the high school I went to. They're really that bad. Seriously, it's sad.
And then when I left, when I went to my new high school, my actual final one, my senior year. Again, get my schedule. It says grade 10 on it, and I said, I had to wait 2 days because it said I had to take because the school I went to was like small, so like if there weren't enough teachers and like more students, we had to take our school. We basically went to a computer lab, and we had to take classes online. And so like for 3 days, I was in sophomore English, and then so finally I could see the counselor, and I tell her, I'm like, hey, why does it say I'm grade 10? I did my credits. She's like, well, can you bring me a copy of the paperwork? And you have to go back to your old school and tell them, hey, you have to call them and say, you know what? Yeah, he did have his credit. But I showed him. I physically showed them. I'm like, look here, see, I did my hours. They're like, oh yeah, we're so sorry.
Yeah, they're really that bad. Honestly, they really were that bad. But this is how elite comes in from lost credit.
This is how elite comes in.
This is actually a big part of it.
So Friday comes out.
Friday the 13th, the video game.
May 26th, 2017. Yes. And another thing too about Friday, the first time I saw it was PewDiePie, I think, and his friend Cinnamon Toast Ken. I forget. I think it was I think it was Jacksepticeye, but they were playing it, and that's where the it ain't 4th of July. It ain't 4th of July. It's Friday 13th. It's my birthday. Yeah, that's where that originated.
It's me, Jubilee.
Oh, fireworks! I love fireworks. Is it 4th of July already? It ain't 4th of July. It's Friday the 13th. It's my birthday.
And then so I saw this game and I'm like, oh, this is so cool. Alec, do you remember the first time you seen Friday? How did you first come across it?
The comedian.
Comedian told you?
Yeah, the comedian. So the comedian was like, oh, there's this new game coming out. We should get it. And I was like, yeah, let's get it. And then, so fast forward back because we're going to mention this comedian guy a couple times. Is the comedian and me played every day together for probably about a year and a half. Like every day, that was my guy I played with, and so he was like, "Oh, there's a new game coming out. We should get it." And I was like, "All right, cool. It's about this, 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 and this." And I was like, "It sounded really cool," and so I got it. And then me and him started playing it, and then the comedian went to the world of PC gaming, and then I was kind of all alone in the Xbox world. And then, boom, that's kind of how I got on it.
Okay, and then another thing too is I almost because my brother bought it, and I'm like, hey, can you please buy it? It wasn't even that much. It was like $45, and then
I think it was 30.
yeah, you're right. I think so because I remember it was less than 60, so it was.
I think it was $29.99.
But and then I remember I told him the day before it came out, and I'm like, can you just buy it now so I'll have it ready for it to be installed? He's like, I'll just do it tomorrow. And I didn't know that Savini Jason, I could have gotten Savini Jason, who, for people who don't know, Savini Jason is the most powerful Jason you can be. I don't think they ever fixed him, which I think it was so unfair because when you'd load into a lobby and then you get somebody who's Savini Jason, and the only way you can get it, which was pre-order, like
I had it.
you did? You had Savini
Yeah.
Jason? I didn't know.
Yeah.
I've never seen you bust it out.
No, I never used it because I didn't like it because it was hard to use. It wasn't like it wasn't my favorite Jason. If you remember my favorite Jason, well, first of all, I sucked at playing Jason anyway,
Same.
so I tried to avoid playing Jason forever. And the only Jasons I like to play with were Potato Sack Jason because I thought he looked cool,
From part
and
two, right? Part two.
and then the NES Jason.
Which was part
That's the only
three.
two.
Yeah.
That's the only two Jasons I like to play as.
And then so because
Savini Jason had a stupid spear.
yeah, he had a
thing with him.
pitchfork. He was Jason from hell.
Yeah, he did. He didn't have. I didn't like his weapon like I did with the paper bag Jason.
And then, but
Sack Jason.
because we knew somebody. Shout out to the doctor. I think his name was Dr. B. DDS. He actually supported them on the.
He's a dentist, not
yeah.
a doctor.
But he basically supported them on Kickstarter, and he got his name actually put in the game. And I remember I was there with, I think I was in the proximity chat when the virtual cabin came out. He's like, there it is, that's my name. And he said his name, and I forget it, but he was there. And then, but I told Anthony during our loss of credit, which why I brought it up, to get the game because I said there's so much fun. Like there's proximity chat. Like it's because like a lot of games we played, a lot of games on Xbox like aren't proximity chat. That's a very PC game, to do. So I'm like, Anthony, you should check this out. I'm like, you gotta get this game.
Yeah, okay, so Brunner was selling me on this game. And then I went home and I told my brother, I was like, can you please buy this game? I was begging him, and I was telling him all the points Brunner made me, and surprisingly he bought the game. And I was, at the time, I was banned at my original account on Xbox. So I had to use my brother's account. And then I joined Brunner, and then Brunner, this is the time where our paths crossed.
Let me tell you, the first time I met Elite, because there was a problem. There was a bug in the game at the time where if you put quick match, you wouldn't be putting a quick match. Like you literally had to wait an hour, 2 hours. And then so the creators of the game is like, oh, you have to go to the Xbox thing and put, club and then look for people. You had to like join people.
Yeah.
And then so one time I did it and we met our mutual friend, shout out him, Royal Zero. Do you guys remember him?
Royal.
Oh, dude!
Royal. Shout out, bro.
I think his name is
That
Brian.
That guy's probably in prison now.
No, I think he was working at a lumber. He said he was working at a lumber mill at the time, but like I haven't talked to
Dude,
him.
he's
Like,
on house arrest.
Really?
was I didn't?
Yes.
Less because I would always spend my Saturdays with him. We would play Grand Theft Auto. But
Yeah, he was. Oh no! I'm thinking of the other guy. The other guy. Never mind.
No,
I'm thinking of the other guy who we started playing with.
Edwin. What's his name?
Yeah, or whatever. He was on house arrest. Remember? He was like, I can't go anywhere. I'm on parole.
Yeah, he wanted to go to like Puerto Rico or something.
Right, and Roy, he's like, yeah, I want to get back to home, like to Argentina or somewhere. He's like, I can't, I want parole. And then Royal Zero was the guy who used to get
Yeah, he
faced
used
on
to
a
get
Saturday.
drunk. Yeah, he used to get
And then
drunk.
he'd start slurring his words.
And I met him,
right.
one of the funniest dudes. And then last time I talked to him, he said he got engaged. Congratulations to him, which was like a year and a half ago. So he's already married,
Oh wow!
if he is. But
Congratulations.
and then he's like, hold on, we were like missing like 3 people. And he's like, hold on, let me invite somebody. And then he invited Elite, and then so Elite comes in, and then Elite, we play whatever, and then Elite added me as a friend. And then so Anthony's first game, I was hosting, and I'm like, oh, we need some people. And I'm like, oh, let me invite this guy, Elite Dragon Boss, because he added me as a friend, and he always plays Friday. And so that's how we all met. That's how
it started.
met. And we met a lot of funny people on the way. Like shout out.
We met it was a ton of funny people, and it was funny because I remember there was kids that I played with. So the game I used to play, like I grinded on before Friday, was Rainbow Six, and we played that a good amount ourselves too. But I remember that I brought in some of the people I played Rainbow with. I played with the comedian, and I played with Rowdy Grant and a couple other people, and they just didn't last with our crew. And it's funny is I've gone through like ebb and flow, and there's probably 4 people I would say that I've played video games with that have sustained, and it's you two, Sean and Quay, and that's pretty much it. Is that the people that I've and I was trying to think about that as like I feel like that was like 3 years ago, 4 years ago. It feels like a long time ago, and like so much has happened in that time period, and it's just like so weird. But it was, and like Anthony, aka Josh, said the first time he was under Josh's gamer tag, and I thought he was fucking with me. And I remember being like, when he came on as Anthony, like a couple days later, I'm like, fuck you, blah blah blah. I kept calling him Josh.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you
Remember
did.
that?
Yeah, you did call me Josh.
And then Josh got on, started playing with us, and I was like, oh, there is a Josh.
Josh later revealed joining us.
Yeah. And we met, we had some good stories, but the people we met, do you remember the dude that who was our friend at the beginning, but then we just said, screw that dude.
Zombie.
Was zombie killers.
Yep.
Zombie killers.
Oh, I know.
Oh, he was such a bitch.
So for people who don't know, he was like so
though.
Friday the 13th was a survival.
We should download it.
So not open world, but it was very
I
contained
still
map.
have it.
But this dude, like one of the objectives to escape was you have to start a car, and the dude would take off in the car. There's a 4-seater and a 2-seater, and he would take off in the 4-seater by himself and leave everybody. And then he's like, "Oh,
He
you
was
survival?
Remember when I
Yeah,
took
I
your
want to
seat, Brunner?
survive." I'm like, "This is a game at the end of the day."
Remember when you came out? I was like, "Give me some heals if you guys ain't gonna leave me." And you got out the car, and I took your seat, and we drove off.
And it's like hilarious. Like you think back about it, like I'm sitting thinking about some of the people we played with. Joe Moss, this kid Joe Moss.
Rowdy.
This
Joe
kid, dude, could drive like a motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
He could
Oh,
jump
yeah.
in this car. You hit a pebble with that car, it like made you like shoot off to the left. Like this guy would like be driving around like he was an Uber driver. This guy was like awesome.
Yeah.
And then there was what was the name of the dude who was the Canadian guy?
Deadlights.
Deadlights. That's right.
Shout out to
and
Deadlights.
Deadlights, man. Oh my God. He would like have to stop in the middle of the game to go sell some weed.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Facts.
You know what say? His code was like, "Oh, I'm going to go for a smoke."
I'm gonna go for a smoke after you just heard somebody go. And he would get so drunk and messed up, he would pass out playing.
Yeah, because
And all of a sudden you just hear.
we would play for hours. So me and Anthony would play for like, we spent 8 hours in Lost Credit, and then spend another 8 hours playing Friday, and then go back Lost Credit Friday. That was our summer. That was basically our summer. And
So how many hours did you say we played? 2,400?
yeah, I want to hold on. I have a story to share. This Friday story. I already have it written down for everybody.
Ours? You have
But-
mine too?
Yeah, I have yours. Yeah, I have yours. I have Elites, and I have Joe Musk and Alan Idol.
Oh,
And
Alan, that's another one we played a lot with.
so it was me, Royal. I think it was our friend Pacific, and then Zombie Kills was there. And what we met, we were in this lobby one time. We were with this dude, and this dude, he was quiet because everybody had mics except this dude, and his name was Perfection. It was like Imperfection or Perfection or something like that. And then so Jason's coming after us, right? And so the dude Perfection, he has a mic, by the way. We figured that out, but he starts the 4-seater, takes off by himself, and leaves everybody. And then literally the next game, whoever was Jason at the time, he's like, you know what? I'm not going to kill you guys. Just tell me where Perfection is, and we'll go kill him, and I'll let you guys escape. I'll let you guys call the cops and everything, right? And then so, like, literally Jason would come, I'd be like, no, not Perfection, right? He's like, oh, okay. And then so literally one time, like, the guy's like, hey, I got him. Me and Perfection, like, he was on the walkie-talkie. He's like, we're putting the car together. And then so literally it was us. So it was Jason, 8-foot tall Jason, and like 5-foot tall counselors were all walking with Jason. And we're like, there he is. That's Perfection. Get him. And it was a whole mob. And we went and we killed even the counselors were swinging a wrench at him at Perfection.
I kind of remember that.
Like we killed him, and the guy's like, okay, that's all I wanted. He's like, I just want Perfection to die. You guys can leave.
Called the cops.
That
This game
one
was weird, man.
We should all do Friday.
guys have any
We should all play Friday. But Brunner doesn't want
Do
to.
you guys have any Friday stories that stand out to you?
I actually have a memory in my Snapchat where you guys were dancing in Jason's
That's
shack,
right.
where you guys were playing
Oh my
Wake Me Up for You Go Go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went to Jason's shack and we were dancing in Jason's shack. And another story too, one that blew my mind. I was chilling with this girl and we were playing like Ring Around the Rosie with Jason in the car. And like remember there was like that long road, And so we would literally drive forward. And then like we would literally drive back and like Jason kept, appearing in front of us, trying to stop the car. And I'm like, what do we do? I started getting this, and then so the girl was driving. I think her name was like Krypton Beck or whatever, but she drives backwards. And like this was still early in the game. I had no idea you could do that, and it blew my mind that you could just drive backwards and escape. Because I'm like, this game's so buggy and glitchy, it's not gonna let you do that. And then so she did it, and it like blew my mind. I'm like, oh my god! All right.
The coolest thing I remember about the game was the first time we killed Jason.
Oh yeah.
That was
Yeah,
probably
that was
the
such
coolest
a
memory that I
coordinated thing.
have.
Oh my god!
Is that like you have to have like everybody like you have to have the perfect kismet
Yeah,
of
I'm like,
working with
you got the
people.
machete. Make sure Tommy gets the machete. I'm like, you gotta knock his mask
know.
off. You gotta make sure Tommy gets the mask in his inventory slot. It was such a hassle.
That was a really good. And the girl had to get the sweater.
Yeah.
It was the whole thing of like that was probably one of my big memories. I remember we were kind of dicks, to be honest with you. Like I kind of look back and like we were kind of like elitist pricks. Like we'd have our group of people, and I think 8 people could play.
Then we would get
if I remember
randoms and we
right.
just fuck with them,
Yeah.
right?
And we got like 3 randoms in there. We
Like,
just
this
would
is how,
bully the
this is
shit
how
out
you
of
play
them.
Friday.
Yeah, I remember
They're
that.
like,
It was
let's
just
put the
so
randoms,
bad.
Like,
And
let's
like
stop this game.
it was
pick on them.
like, oh
haze
man,
them.
and if they were Jason, forget
yeah.
about it.
Because all you needed was the wrench. The wrench was the secret
Oh,
weapon.
the wrench, the magic wrench, dude. You love the wrench.
He's like, do you want the
wrench
shotgun?
broke,
I'm like,
though,
no.
After a little while,
I'm like,
after a while,
he's like, do you want the shotgun? I'm like, nah, give me the wrench.
Give me the waste of a Jason.
waste. Jason.
Yeah, I remember. Oh, remember the story of Waste of Jason. So I was Jason, and I always picked part 8, the one where he goes to Manhattan.
Dude, I think
Yeah,
I
you
started that.
No, Brewer did, I think, actually.
No, it was
Yeah.
me because I'm like, fine, I'll be Jason, and then the guy. So people escape, right? And then the guy goes, "Waste of a Jason" is the random we got, right? And then so it was his turn to be Jason, and all of us escaped. And I say, "Waste of a Jason." And he's like, "Shut up!" He fucking went off. He's like, "Shut up! You shut up!"
Dude, that game could start some
Oh, yeah.
arguments too, man. That game was awesome. And it was like, even though we stuck around for so long, it's going to come out with an update. Oh, it's going to fix this. It's going to fix that. Do you remember when they came out with the Secret Shack?
Yeah, the virtual
secret-
cabin.
Oh my god, that
Yep.
was like, oh my god, that was awesome.
Mhm.
And we got to see the doctor's name on the computer,
There it is.
and it was like, I mean, dude, that guy had to pay
And then
thousand. Like I
remember,
think
we're
he paid
like,
a
oh,
couple
they're gonna add
$1,000 for that.
they're gonna add Jason X. Remember, they're gonna add the
Oh, yeah, they
Jason X
teased
map,
it?
and there are all these leaks,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and they never did it. But you know,
And there-
credit to that game because I had seen the first time I started playing it. I only seen like I think I saw like three and like Jason Goes to Manhattan, but I rewatched the whole franchise because of it, and that they were pretty accurate. Like they got
did a good
everything
job.
right. Like they got like 90%, like 95, 99% of everything right. Whatever map
Yeah,
it
but
was on. And
does
I
it really
remember
matter,
the
do you-
most
Remember
annoying map.
Chad? What about Chad?
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah,
Chad.
okay.
Don't forget Chad. I'm a Chad.
Yeah, I started because like I watched this dude Jay Cyrus on Twitch. He was playing it, and he got the dude, the dude with the sweater wrapped around him, and then he's like,
Yeah.
Jason, you better not kill me, or my dad's gonna sue you."
Hey, buddy, I'm not in cahoots with these sluts back here, so if you don't want to get sued by my dad, just chill right there.
All right, you're right, my bad.
You're right, my bad.
Dude, and it was the one thing I thought they did really good with that game was they did really good with skins. Like I remember the Halloween skins when I got the girl dressed in the skeleton suit and stuff, and then like the bikini skins.
I do
Do you
remember
remember
that.
they did
Yeah.
the bikini skins? And then but the one thing I always thought they kind of dropped the ball on was why didn't they use characters from the movie?
Did they bring one?
Like
I
why
guess
did
you have to get like the actor's likeness or something.
Oh, maybe that's why. Because
But-
they had Jason. I would have thought they would have had that too. Like it would have been cool. Like I always thought it would have been cool to have the wheelchair guy.
Yeah, but they did
Yeah.
add Sheriff homie Tommy Jarvis.
And they had the
Tommy
hippie guy.
Jarvis.
Remember the hippie guy, dude?
Yeah, they had the hippie too. And then they got the other girl, the biker chick. She was in the actual movie. But
Yeah, but they had a bunch of randos too. Like I don't remember Chad being in there.
yeah, and then remember a map we were excited about, but we ended up hating at the end was the Jarvis house map.
It's too big.
Oh man.
That was the biggest. You could literally
Too
get
big.
lost, and like Jason would never find you.
I agree. I hate that map. Even though it's survivor, you get
I
lost.
was like so excited. I'm like, I sent Anthony a trailer. I'm like, look, Anthony. I'm like, we're getting a Jarvis house.
I was, like,
We were
I
so
was
hyped.
hyped too.
Dude, that thing was huge. And then what you started to is you had to start doing. Remember, I think it was
The
I don't know,
boat.
like a Jarvis Hap small map.
Oh yeah, there's a small one.
You did the
That was
small
good.
maps because they were too big.
Mhm.
And then remember when you could swim out there, just keep swimming around in the water, and you basically just run out the clock. Just keep swimming away from Jason. Just like hide in the
and
water.
the boat. I remember always seeing somebody escape by boat was like so intense. Because
Oh, dude. But that was hard on the Jarvis map because it was a weird like
Yeah.
rocks and stuff, man.
Mhm.
But like the original one, it was
bird.
just like basically get in there.
Yeah. The rocks.
The second one, it got hard. Yeah. And then there's nothing worse when the boat flipped and you were in it.
that's
And
over.
you're like, oh,
Yeah, you think it's
yeah,
over.
okay,
I'm done.
Bye bye.
Done.
Bye bye.
He got me. But dude, find that propeller. When you found that propeller, it was like, yes, great day. I'm the happiest I am, dude.
I'm like,
this
who's
is
got the gas?
awesome.
Who's got the gas?
Yeah,
I'm like,
We out. Skirt, skirt.
And then,
I did love the boat.
Yeah, the boat was good.
but the best thing was
Putting that propeller on was kind of a bitch.
Yeah, it was. It was really
the
fun.
best thing was having the perks. Like I had the rare perk, the my dad's a cop perk, and I'm like, everybody keep
Yeah.
me distracted. I'm like, you got the fuse. You called it you named it the black stick of death because
The
Every-
black stick of death, baby.
every time somebody has it, people die.
You die.
Yeah. And then I'm like, keep them distracted longer. I'm making the phone call, and then I had it where it was like 3 minutes, like 250, 3 minutes. The police would get there. Because the regular one, like if you didn't have it all, it was 5 minutes. You had to wait a whole 5 minutes.
It's 5, yeah.
Oh.
But I remember one time the best run I ever had on that was I think you have 4 slots or 3 slots.
Mhm.
How many slots did you have?
You had like
that you
3.
could fill with. I remember one time I got 3 pocket knives.
Damn.
Oh yeah.
They were all pocket
Remember,
knives.
I started the thing. I'm like,
That
oh
was the
come
best.
on. I'm like, you know what, GG man. And then like I stick with the pocket knife, and I go,
that was the best.
I'm like, see ya.
Yes.
That was the best, dude. And they would get so mad if you had 2 pocket knives. They were really pissed because they'd grab you again and you'd be like,
Was it so long, boys? Remember that? One per room.
Yeah.
yeah. That was a good
That
game,
was.
man. And it was a bummer because I thought we'd have the same experience with Predator.
Yeah.
Remember we bought Predator,
Yeah.
and then Predator
was the-
sucked. You didn't.
Well,
Well,
yeah,
that's just. I
that
think it
was
was a
on
Sony
PlayStation
exclusive
exclusive.
game.
I hate Predator.
And,
because the
just
game
gave
was
it away for
fun. The
free.
game on paper, it had the right formula. It's just that
Yeah.
like there was like only 2 maps. There was like 2-3 maps.
And that's 3 now, and it just, yeah.
And then
it
my other
sucks.
biggest complaint was I bought the deluxe version of that game, and they wouldn't give me Arnold
Wow.
because they added Arnold into the game, and they wouldn't give it to me.
Dude, they put they well, they didn't put Arnold, but they did put I just got Rambo and John McClane in Call of Duty.
Nice.
Nice.
That was
Uh,
kind of cool.
So
Can run around as Rambo.
I have our hours we put in, but it's put into days
All
too. So let's start off with Elite. Elite, you've put in 11 days, 15 hours, and 58 minutes.
11 days.
I'm sorry, that's me. That was
Oh.
me.
Show off.
Because you're right above me. Elite actually has more. Elite has
Oh God.
13 days,
Oh.
16 hours, and 39 minutes.
I probably have the least, right?
Okay.
Well, because yours is split into 2.
Yeah, it's true with Josh.
So you have about 12 to 13 hours put in.
Bullshit.
Because Josh has 6 hours, 6 days, 22 hours, 29 minutes, and you
Oh, yeah.
have 5 days, 14 hours, 23
So in
minutes.
reality, I have like half of that. Yeah, I do have half of that for sure. So
And
So 328 hours I played that game.
so our friends we mentioned earlier in this episode, Alan Idle, Joe Musk, and Deadlights. Are you ready for Alan Idle's total? So Alan Idle has 113 days, 1 hour, and 34 minutes in Friday 13.
113 days.
Yes.
Sector plug.
damn, dude.
Let me see.
There it is.
It's a little bit.
That's the only game he plays, though.
Yeah.
Actually, that's not true. He plays Call of Duty. I
Hopefully.
think. There's another game I played with him. How many hours do I have on Rainbow? Can you see that?
I'd have to go to my Xbox, but our homie Deadlights, the Canadian who sells other stuff, has 92 days, 3 hours, and 1 minute.
Shh.
I bet you right now, if I turn on an Xbox, he's on.
Who, Alan?
I will
That's
test
Alan.
this.
And then our homie Joe Musk has about 42 days, 10 hours, and 20 minutes.
There it is. Who's he looking for, Alan?
He's looking for his rainbow stats, but I don't know if you audio listeners, I've been showing you on the screen. Oh fuck! I'm trying to adjust this thing.
Elite, Alan's offline.
See, there's us.
He's offline.
When there's the homie Malbird.
Malbird.
Oh, Malbird. Oh,
Shout out to
Malbird.
Malbird. Shout out to Malbird. Oh, and then from Friday we transitioned to PUBG. Well, me and Elite, we did Rainbow for a while, but then we moved to PUBG and we spent a ton of hours on that game, all 3 of us.
Yeah, we gotta check the
Yeah,
time
we
on
did
that
play
I
one.
that
told you
Yeah.
guys about that game because I'm like, guys, I've been watching this on Twitch.
And we got
I'm
it.
like, it's a battle
Yeah.
royale. It's 100 people. I'm
Problem
like,
with,
new
problem with
concept.
that thing is, it never got as good as it was on the PC.
It is now.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
yeah, it's having a little resurgence.
Really?
Especially like foreign countries.
Yeah, look, it runs good
Oh,
on
so
my
we gotta play.
Xbox. The graphics finally caught up.
Play against the Germans.
Yeah,
Shout out to
Germany.
Germany. That's hilarious. I mean, yeah, Friday was I think that was a good game. The thing about Friday, I think the reason it worked and how we became friends with it was there was a lot of downtime where it was just talking and just like, you know what I'm saying? And I thought we had a pretty good group of people that we played with. Do you remember like the? And it used to be hilarious. Like you put in a group, like you needed, like you had 4 people, and you needed to find 4. And somebody would always be like, "Oh, I got to put girl in the room," or somebody's gonna put like free tacos, or Adam Sandler's
I
in
remember
here.
that. Adam Sandler in the lobby, and they would come in and be like,
Yeah,
"Where's
it's
Adam
like-
Sandler?"
And then like,
I
and
don't do free
it was funny. As soon as you put girl in the lobby,
everybody.
there'd be like 25 motherfuckers jump in that party.
Yeah,
I'm
because
like,
we always
God
used to get our
damn,
friend
guys.
Royal, and he would always put on, he'd always talk like a girl. Go, hello.
Oh man, shit! That makes me think of remember when Sean did that? Sean did that.
Oh yeah, he'd always bait
made that-
dudes and rainbow.
And he made that like fake character. Of
Yeah,
a
he
girl.
made
and,
a fake
and like
account.
some dude was like trying to hook up
Oh
with
my
him,
God.
and he was like, "Motherfucker."
So yeah,
was
so
pretty funny.
so our friend Sean, he had this fake account, and he had a girl. He'd always go on Instagram and pull up like girls, like not like extremely hot girls, but like hot, but like normal looking people.
Moderately
Yeah,
hot.
moderately hot, like realistic, more realistic. And so like he'd always flirt with these dudes online. He'd be like, he's like, oh yeah, I'm just starting. I just got this game. He's like, I just got an Xbox.
But he would
or
text it. He
whatever.
wouldn't talk. He wouldn't.
Yeah,
talk.
he would
He'd
always
it.
text. And then so like he's like, you know what? Why don't you join my party and we can talk more, right? And then Ali comes in with his deep voice and be like, "What are you talking to my girl for?" And Elite would go off on him. And one dude I remember got scared. One dude got scared of Elite. And then, dude, I'm so
Dude, do
sorry.
you remember the argument? Do you remember the argument that Sean got in with somebody? And Sean got so pissed, he's like threw down his address and everything. There's my address. Meet me, motherfucker.
Yeah, he's like, pull up. Yeah, that was fun.
Pull up, bitch.
Yeah, we had
I
some.
was like, God damn. He texted his address to the dude.
I did.
It was crazy.
We had
Oh,
some
yeah.
fun
We did.
times. But yeah. I wish
Yeah.
that game would have. I know it's an illegal battle or whatever because they had to stop.
But they just didn't update to it.
stop making updates.
They just did, really?
And we tried to
No,
do.
They just didn't update to it recently, I
I
thought.
think they're like bug fixes, but it's not really bug fix because I remember. I always remember it. I always glitch. Like if you would spam B into the wall, like you could go on the roof
Yeah, I'm looking
and
it up.
hide. And
Oh, I didn't remember. I didn't know that. I didn't even know that.
yeah, I
trick.
knew that. It was on the part 3 map. Yeah, it was on the it was on the part 2 map too. The one with the 2-story house, like the
Yeah.
huge 2-story house.
Do you go upstairs into it?
Yeah, you would go upstairs into it, and it would take you all the way to the top of the roof. And I remember when homie tried to get down, and he died. It was so fun.
No bueno.
But yeah, we had a lot of fun, and we tried to do Dead by Daylight. I mean, that game's fun, but
It's
Friday's
not
just-
anywhere near as fun.
Yeah, Friday's just special a little bit.
I think the thing with Dead by Daylight, unless your name is Malbird or Josh, it's just I'm not skilled at it. It's tough it's a tough game, and I think that the advantage that people have in that game is that some people really understand how to use the killers. The one leveler was pretty much Jason was Jason.
Yeah.
Like you might have had throwing knives. Like some people are really good with the throwing knives and shit, but most people, Jason was Jason.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you have so many disadvantages in Dead by Daylight. Like so many, the killers are so different in what they do. It's just it's a total different. I think they should come out with a game.
So they did an engine fix. I'm sorry to interrupt. Where it's like up to the new standards of the console, so it might be something to look at.
But but what Elite was saying was like, because shout out to Dead by Daylight, because like they've been keeping the game relevant, which like the game's pretty old, and like they've been adding new maps and new killers, but recently it's been like the killers have been unfair a little bit. But on Friday,
Super hard.
yeah, on Friday it was like, oh, this Jason's warp faster. This Jason's better in water. Right. this Jason's stronger, or like this Jason can break doors
This
down.
one had a better grip, like
yeah,
he
one
would
had
hold
a
your neck better.
one had a wider grip. But like, so it's like you knew what you were up against. It's like, okay, Jason does this, this, and this. So I'm like, I gotta stay out of the water. I have this amount of time to leave. You know what I mean?
All Jasons
Whatever.
were fast in the water, though, in my opinion.
No, there was that one that was like
Yeah, it was part 8.
I think it was part 8 where he started out in the water in the movie.
Yeah,
Do you remember he was
part
broken
8.
from
Yeah,
the
it was like
he could
extremely
swim
fast.
like he could swim.
I know,
very
like
fast.
part 2 was super slow in the water.
Yeah, and it was funny is one thing that was funny about Eddie Jason. They all seemed like that dumb run, just like Jason does in the movie, but they all seem to cut.
Mine,
You know
I
what I'm
remember
saying? It
mine.
was like,
Mine was part 8. He couldn't jog. He couldn't run, but like he had quicker. His warper respawned faster.
yeah, if you could get that thing down, you were pretty good at that game.
Right.
I loved it when somebody could come out and they could do the shift and like come out grab you right on the shift. That was a skilled Jason.
Yeah.
That was a good Jason.
Spam Max quick.
So
That's what I would do.
So, dude. Or you just go give him a knife to the throat.
I think.
Dude, I think I'm gonna once we get done here, I'm gonna try to run a game of Friday.
I'm down.
Who's down?
I'm down.
I got stuff to do.
Oh, Brunner.
I got
I
stuff
got,
to
I got
do.
podcasts to edit.
Brunner. Take a day off and play Friday. That's what the podcast people want.
I'll play Back for Blood. Me and Anthony might make a Back for Blood episode.
Yes.
Because the game's been surprisingly good.
I don't know if it's downloaded on. Yeah, I'll have to see if Jack downloaded
It's only
it.
like 30 gigs.
Unfortunately,
It's not big.
huh?
It's 30 gigs.
Yeah, I know. I just have to download it. That's all.
Yeah, so Back for Blood
But I
episode will
think-
be out soon.
Yeah.
We're gonna play the game, a good amount. We're preparing some clips, so hopefully we'll get a lead on it too.
Yeah, if
That was
Lee
my
can't
clip,
make
you
it,
see
then
me.
it'll be me and Anthony. But I think we've talked a while now, and so now you guys know how we all
How we
met. The BS we went through,
Yeah.
and also I forgot
went through the
a
BS.
part is like during the lockdown, we're like, because we're just staying at home, and we're like, man, we said it 4 years ago when we were playing Friday. It was like, hey, all 3 of us have good chemistry. Maybe we should do a
start a
podcast. And then sure enough, 4 years later, we're doing it here now.
There you go. That's a perfect way to
So-
end it, Brunner. Perfect way to end it. That's true. Here we are now, baby. Shout out Germany.
So thank
Shout out
you, guys,
Germany.
thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see you guys in the next one.